Hi friends, Cathy Madeo back with another video. This one, a practice along full-length yoga class. If you're feeling a little bit stuck energetically, this class will be perfect for you. We're going to move that energy through your body and leave you feeling open and energized to continue on through your day. For this video, you don't need any props unless you actively use them like a set of blocks or a blanket to pad your back knee. Let's get started. We'll start in child's pose. You can separate your knees wide, walk your hands out, your big toes are touching, and place your forehead down. And resist the need to do anything here. We'll just settle on our mats, feeling grounded. Tune into your breath and the sensations of your body without judgment, just cultivating awareness here. Today, I want you to consider this word prana. Means life force. It's sometimes misinterpreted as the breath, but it is more like the energy within you. And you can think of things like the breath or movement of our body helps to move the energy or prana through our body. So in this way, we can use our asana practice to move energy, unlock old stagnant energy in our bodies. And so today as we move, that's what we'll focus on, just moving the prana through our body so we can feel more energized and in flow. We'll take one more mindful breath here. And on your next inhale, we'll slide into our tabletop position, shoulders over hands, hips over knees. And from here, we'll just take some circular movements through our dancing lion. So you're just moving your hips and your shoulders. And you can take this into kind of a lateral side bend if that feels good. Also, it might be nice to just close your eyes here and slow down the movement so there's no rushing. And again, our focus is on moving that stagnant energy, and oftentimes, especially in our hips and our shoulders, the energy can get kind of stuck there. We feel tightness and tension. We'll switch sides, and these circling movements through the joints are stimulating the synovial fluid in the joints so that our joints can be a little bit more water-like and fluid, and that we can move that energy with more ease through our body. Come back into your tabletop position. From here, we'll straighten our right leg, curl your right toes under, and send your right heel back. So getting a nice stretch through your calf and Achilles heel. And then we'll rock that forward a little bit. And then we're just going to go back and forth, keeping a nice straight line through your spine here. Crown of the head points forward. And next we'll lift the toes up, cross the foot over to the left, peek over your left shoulder. So now you're adding in a lateral side bend through the right side body here. And again, we'll rock it a little bit forward and back. Now lift your foot up. We'll swing it all the way out to the side and hold here for a moment. So using your muscles just for a beat, and we'll place the sole of the foot down, and we'll start to rock the hips back and forth. Again, just moving the energy, moving our body Okay, so next we'll keep our hips over our knee and start to walk your hands out. So you can go as deep or as not. You could stop right here if this feels enough for you. You could also place your forehead down or your chin down, coming into almost like a puppy stretch here, or like a long downward facing dog if your head is off the ground. From here, we'll lift the head up and bring our forearms down. So we'll slide down onto our hips and we can bend the right leg. So we're in a half frog position here. Drag your elbows back towards your chest, pull your chest through, activate your back body by engaging your glutes and those back muscles. From here, we'll lift the right elbow up and thread your left arm through, and just a playful way to get into a nice, juicy supine spinal twist here. As we take our left hand to the outside of the right leg, we can get an outer hip stretch, and then also stretching the right side of the chest, and just mobilizing our spine here. From here, we'll come back onto our forearms and straighten out your right leg. So you are in Sphinx pose. We'll take another beat here as we just warm up our back body. Bring your chest down. We'll take serpent cobra now. So come onto your fingertips, press the tops of your feet into the mat. Inhale, lift up as you stretch the front body. And exhale down. And we'll do that a couple more times as we just lift up. And you can do these at your own pace. And you can take little soft, subtle movements here if that would feel good. And then from here, we'll bring our hands underneath our biceps, curl our toes, push all the way back into your tabletop, reset, and we'll just switch sides. So this time our left leg straightens, we'll pull the heel back and just pause here, getting a nice stretch through the calf. And then we'll take those rocks. We're also warming up our wrist joint here. Lift your left foot up, cross it over to the right, peek over the right shoulder, hold here, and then you can exaggerate this lateral side stretch of the left side body by moving your hips over to the left just a little bit. And now we'll rock forward and back. From here, we'll lift the left leg up, swing it out to the left, hold, and place the sole of the foot down. And we'll rock the hips back and forth, back and forth, and back. And then from here, we'll keep the hips aligned over the knee, and we're just walking our hands out. Again, you can stay right here, or just going down to the depth that feels good. If you want to get a little deeper stretch through the shoulders, you'd start to place your forehead down or maybe chin down. And then energetically, we're getting a stretch through the front body. So imagine that your sit bones and your hips are moving more behind you, almost like someone's pulling them behind you as your hands reach more forward. From here, we'll lift our head up. We're coming onto those forearms, lowering our hips down. Bend your left leg so that you're in a half frog position. You're on the inside of your left foot. And we can reset as needed here. And we'll make this a little bit active through our back body. So we're using those spinal extensors, those back core muscles to pull your chest more forward, shoulder blades down the back. So those latissimus dorsis are engaging to pull the chest through the shoulders. Take one more breath here. You can lift off your left elbow, slide the right arm through, and big circle of your left arm as we catch a supine twist. Keep using your breath because we want to move the energy, and the breath is one of the ways we do that. We move that prana through our body. We'll come back in through our Sphinx pose here as we straighten our left leg. And again, making this active by engaging your glutes. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. And this time we'll curl our toes under and come into forearm plank. Now, of course, you can have your knees down here if needed, and we'll just hold here, firing up our core. Make sure those elbows are nice and snug underneath their shoulders. Beautiful. Bring your knees down. This time we'll keep our knees together, embryo pose. Bring your arms behind you so that we can rest the shoulders for a moment. Stretch the low back. A couple mindful breaths here. Next, inhale up. You're in a kneeling position, and just bring your arms out in front of you. Let's make a tight fist with the hands, widen the fingers, tight fist, widen, tight, widen, just to condition our hands and wrists before we get weight bearing more here. And we'll go a little bit faster. So just really fast, tight fist, widen the fingers, and then we'll shake it out. And meet me in a downward facing dog. So placing your hands, shoulders distance apart, feet can be hips distance apart. We'll pedal out our feet here, but working nice and slowly. There's no need to rush here. Connecting to your breath, connecting to your mat. Come up onto your tippy toes, take a deep bend in the knees, so turbo dog. Chest is pressing back towards your thighs. Now push the floor away from you with your hands. Take another breath or two here. And now straighten out your left leg. Try not to round your low back, so keep your low back long. And then we'll switch. And then we'll add on to that. So this time you'll send your heels over to the right as you straighten your left leg. Coming back through turbo dog, swivel the heels over to the left, straighten your right leg. Good, and come back through turbo dog. Push off through those strong legs into a plank position. So shoulders right over wrists. Your elbow crease is lined up to your thumbs, and you can claw the mat back with those finger pads to help take any pressure off the wrists. Take another breath. We're holding plank. Now in this first vinyasa, we'll bring our knees down, shift the weight forward a little bit, keep the core nice and strong as you start to bend your arms, and then go right into your cobra pose. So elbows stay bent for cobra, legs are on the ground for cobra. And now we'll curl our toes, move through knees, push it back into our downward facing dog. Inhale, extend your right leg up, bend the knee and open up the hip, and we'll take a few hip circles here. And let's switch directions. Straighten your right leg square off your hip, and we'll pull the right knee into the chest. Place your foot. Back knee drops down. Inhale up, low lunge. So you can, of course, use any props if you need to pad your back knee. You're placing a blanket under your back knee. And if you're using blocks, they're there framing your front leg to just support you here. From here, we'll take our left hand to the outside of the right leg, and then a big sweep of the right arm behind us. Your thumb is pointing upward, and so our hips are pointing forward, but we're moving the chest to the side here as we take a twist. Reach the crown of your head up. From here, sweep your back arm forward, both arms up into your low lunge. And now we'll bring the hands behind us, and we'll think of these as like cat-cows as we bring the elbows back and open the chest. And then exhale, hips come back, pelvis tucks under, elbows in. So we'll inhale, lean a little bit forward, open the front body, and exhale, close. And we'll do that one more time. Inhale, open. And exhale, close. Reach your arms up, curl your back toes under, lift your back knee. Nice, strong, high crescent lunge. From here, we'll push off the back foot, land your hands for stabilization. They can be on blocks, and you're in a supported warrior 3 here. Now we can start to bend our right leg, pulse the left leg into the right, and then straighten. So we're bending in, and if you want to make this more challenging, you can have your hands at heart center here. Okay, on this last one, we'll land the left foot, inhale up to our chair pose, Utkatasana. Hips are low, but the sternum is lifting up. Push down into your strong legs, inhale, arms reach up, and exhale, mountain pose. And just feel the prana, feel the energy and the heat flowing through your body now. Chest is nice and open as the palms face open, feet are grounding down, and the crown of your head reaches upward. On an inhale, reach your arms up, catch hold of your left wrist, take a side bend over to the right. And then inhale up, we'll just switch. Pull your right wrist over to the left. Inhale up, exhale, fold. Now as you fold, you can have your feet hips distance apart, bend your knees as much as needed in order to get your chest close to your thighs and let your head release here. Take a couple breaths. We can grab opposite elbows here for ragdoll as well. And if it would feel good, you can sway a little bit side to side. Now let's release the hands. Inhale, half lift. Hands come to the shins or to the blocks. Crown of the head's pointed forward. Your back is nice and flat. As you exhale, bend your knees, place your hands, step it back to plank pose. So we did a vinyasa with the knees down. You can do those like that at any point. For now, if you're with me, we'll keep our knees up as we go forward. Chaturanga, so nothing changes. You're just bending your arms. And then inhale, upward facing dog, just your feet and hands are on the floor. Use the glutes to pull the chest forward, scoop the pelvis under. Use your exhale to come back into your downward facing dog. Gazing back towards your feet, push the floor away, feeling the prana, the energy moving through your body. And we'll switch sides. Left leg lifts up, open up the hips, scorpion dog. So feel the front of your left thigh stretching now. And from here, we'll add in those hip circles. So just drawing a big circle with your knee in one direction, and we'll switch directions. Pull your left knee into your nose, place your foot, back knee drops down. Inhale up to low lunge. Reach the arms up, actively press the top of your right foot into the mat. We'll take our right hand to the outside of the left leg, big sweep of the left arm, and we're opening up the left chest. And you can use your right hand, push it into your left leg, leg into the hand to facilitate a deeper twist. Another breath or two. From here, we're coming back through to our low lunge. And this is where we'll place our hands behind our head, let the hips lean forward, open through the heart space, and now hips come back as we close. So a low lunge cat-cow variation, just finding some mobility through the spine. Last one. Arms reach up. We're curling the back toes under. Invitation to use blocks here if needed. Lift the back knee. Strong high crescent lunge. Take an inhale. As you exhale, take everything forward. You're catching the floor or blocks with your hands. Outer right hip stays closed here in our supported warrior 3. And we'll take some leg pulses here. Again, you can do no hands if you want to amp it up. And on this last one, we're coming into a nice compressed ball here. Land the right foot and chair pose. You can really see how the asanas and transitioning between them move that prana, move the energy through our body so nicely. One more breath, sink the hips down. And inhale, arms reach up, gaze up. Exhale, stabilize here through mountain pose. And again, just taking a moment to feel the effects of your movement. There's no need to rush. There's no end point we're getting to. It's all in this moment. Shift your weight to your right foot. Take stork pose with your left leg. Bring your left knee out to the left, mindfully bend the right leg, and big step back into a warrior two stance. So we'll take a moment to line up our feet, front toes point forward, heel in line with the back center arch of the foot, and the hips and the thigh bones are rotating away from the midline here. Reach the arms one away from the other, gaze past your middle front finger, and just feel the power and the stability here in your warrior two. From here, we'll move into a half skandasana, so not lowering all the way down, and go back into your warrior two. And we'll just do that 2 more times as we bend. And last time here. This time, we'll keep the legs straight, reset our feet, and we're coming into triangle pose. So lean forward like you're reaching all the way out, and do your best to keep your torso in line with the front leg, and you could rest your right hand on a block here. You could keep your right hand on the shin bone, or if you can maintain alignment here of the torso and front leg, you can place the fingertips down. Now, there's a lot going on in this pose, right? We're getting a deep stretch through the legs, but there's also a twist here as we take our right side body and move it to the side here. So getting a nice twist as well. From here, we'll take a big sweep of our left arm to the front of the mat, sweep it all the way down to the side now, and now we'll take our full skandasana as we crawl our hands over to the left. And if your left heel is off the mat, that's all good. So just leave it there. It's all good. We can open the arms, or you can keep the hands grounded down. You could even take a bind here if that would feel good. So just wherever you can keep your chest nice and open is perfect. Now listen up. We'll travel to the back of the mat. As we swivel to the back, your hands will be down. Place your right palm down and then twist. So you're in a twisted lunge. And now we'll take the left hand down to the inside, lower our back knee. If you need to heel toe your left foot out, you can do that. We're coming into our lizard lunge here. So to start this deep hip stretch, we'll just rock the hips a little bit side to side. And if you know you like props underneath, blocks underneath your forearms in this pose, you can grab those, or you can just stay up on your hands just like this. Okay, now if it feels okay and you can work onto either one forearm or both forearms for our lizard lunge, that's where we'll meet. And again, remember that Sphinx pose where I asked you to pull the chest through and drag your elbows back towards your hips? It's the same thing here. We're basically in like a hip opening Sphinx pose if you think about it. So a few breaths here as we go deep into this pose. Okay, we'll come onto the left hand and come onto your right forearm so that it's parallel to the back small edge of the mat here. And basically what we're going to do is sweep the left leg so it lands on top of the right. You can have your hips down here. All right, so a quick little rest here, but not for long because now we're going to push ourselves up into a forearm plank. So we're holding here, and we can take our left arm up and stretch it so we're also getting a bit of a stretch, really using your lower hip muscles. And if this is too much, you just lower your hips and get a nice side stretch. Okay, another little challenge here. See if you can lift your left leg up, step it behind you, almost like a forearm wild thing, right? So we're just opening up the chest. Amazing. And then from here, we'll lower back down, our hips all the way down, and we're in a Sphinx pose just to transition. And now we'll lower the chest all the way down. We'll widen the arms apart like airplane wings here. And take your left fingertips underneath your left elbow, and we'll roll onto our right hip and tap the left foot behind us. And we'll do that one more time. So making sure your right palm is flat on the ground here for a moment. Good. Now, if it would feel okay, only if, I want you to sweep the left hand around. But if that's going to internally rotate the arms and close the chest, then definitely don't do that, right? Because that's not the purpose. We're keeping things open. We're moving energy. We don't want to keep the energy blocked in our shoulders. So just, you can hold here. We won't stay here long. We'll come onto our bellies to switch sides. Left arm is straight. Right fingertips underneath that right elbow, and we're going back and down, and then back, and we'll hold here, so you can stay right here. You can sweep the arm around. We'll stay open. You could clasp your hands, but we're not staying here long, and the whole objective is to really keep this chest open, and we'll come on to the belly. So we can take a quick rest, crocodile pose, stack one forearm on top of the other, forehead rests. Close down your eyes, another opportunity to check in. And when we check in, we are feeling sensation in our bodies. We're observing our mind activity and breath, all without judgment. Okay, from here, we'll inhale, bring the arms back. So prepping for a locust pose. So again, with the locust pose, chest is open. So bring your shoulder blades in towards your spine, lift your legs off the mat. Option to clasp if you can keep the chest open. Otherwise, the hands are staying open. Another breath. And we'll release. And as we release, we'll place the hands underneath the biceps. Bring your arms so that the arm bones are in line with the shoulders, and keep your knees down or not. We're doing like an inverted here, chaturanga, to plank, and press it back to downward facing dog. On an inhale, we'll sweep our right leg up, open up the hips, scorpion dog, and from here we'll take a wild thing. So left heel can swivel over to the left. We're lifting the hips up, chest stays nice and open. And now from here, we've got a big step forward of the right leg. Catch the floor with the hands, returning back to that supported warrior 3. Flex your left foot, land your left foot so that it's hips distance apart, and we'll take yogi toe lock. So peace fingers wrap to the inside of the big toes, and they close with the thumb. Elbows are wide. And again, we're softly bending the knees here, so as much as you need for your chest to hit your thighs. And if you're wondering why I keep saying that, I want you to check out my Unlock Your Hamstrings video for all the deets on that. But for now, trust the process. Release the crown of your head. We'll inhale, halfway lift. See if you can keep the lock with the fingers and toes, and then exhale, elbows wide, fold. Release the lock as you inhale, come all the way up to stand, and exhale through to mountain pose. And we'll switch sides. So we'll shift our weight to our left foot, take stork with your right, move your right knee out to the side as you softly bend that left leg, taking a big step back, reset the feet so we have a nice long stance for our warrior 2. Opening the hips here, keep the hips nice and level. Feel the strength through your legs, and we'll take those half skandasana squats here to prep our body here and our legs for these standing poses. Okay, we'll keep the legs straight now. We can bring the back foot in a little bit for our triangle pose. So arms nice and wide, side body long, lift the crown of the head up, and then reach it forward as you pull your right hip back. You're working your left hand down wherever it's going to go. So don't force it to the floor. That's not the purpose of the pose here. So we'll turn the chest to the side so we get that twist as well. From here, we'll take our right arm, reaching it over the left leg, and we'll sweep it all the way down. Crawl the hands to the original front of your mat as you bend through the right leg for our Skandasana, or surfer's lunge. Deep breaths. And now we're transitioning, coming to the front of the mat, using a playful twisted lunge here for a moment, and then you'll bring your right hand to the inside of the right foot. You can heel toe the right foot. We're landing the back knee down, and we're settling here. So there's a lot of movement, energy moving through our body. And now as we come closer to the ground, you might feel that energy start to ground down. And there's a lot of like juice in that grounding, right? So this is the time to drop into your practice, drop into your body and your breath. If you can come onto your forearms, you're doing that. And then we're taking a little bit more active lizard here as we pull our chest forward, almost like there's a lifting through the back of the neck. And now we'll rotate the left forearm so that it's facing the front small edge of the mat. And we're sweeping that top leg around. And we'll just rest here for a moment as we set up. And so again, you can stay right here if this is good enough for you. If you want a little bit more activation and strengthening through your core and your glute medius muscle, I want you to lift the hips up, okay? And just finding this nice, solid, strong core. And we can reach the right arm up. And want your left shoulder to be an external rotation so that the chest is opening if you're taking this playful variation of a wild thing through our forearm side plank. And then from here, we're going to come all the way down to our belly. And we'll take crocodile pose. So if you can remember which forearm was on top, I want you to switch it. So I've switched to my left forearm on top, feeling the belly press into the mat. So we'll add on to our locust pose. We'll build into Asana bow pose from there. As you're ready, on an inhale, work into your locust pose. Shoulder blades come in towards the spine, arms reach behind you, legs lift up. Point the feet and see if you can bring the feet in. And then we're grabbing onto the tops of the feet. And if you can't grab both, you'll just do one at a time. So you'll do something like this here. Okay, but if you can grab both feet here, grab both feet, and then push your feet into your hands, hands into your feet. Use the strength of your back body to lift your feet and your chest up. So you feel some pressure there on the belly that's stimulating those lower chakras. It's all good. And we'll release, and we'll take that crocodile pose one more time. Just let your low back settle. From here, we'll roll right onto our backs. So reset onto your back. We'll work into bridge pose. Feet hips distance apart and underneath your knees. Bend your arms, have your arms hugging in towards the rib cage. And from here, just press the backs of the arms into the mat and see if you could open your chest and bring the shoulder blades in while still keeping your hips down. Just here for a moment. And now push down into your feet. Use the strength of your glutes and your hamstrings to lift your pelvis up. So palms can be facing up. We can stay right here. If you can keep your chest nice and open, you could also clasp your hands here. But remember, if that closes the shoulders, then don't do that, right? So now whatever's touching the floor in this pose, I want you to push down to lift up. And we're stretching our quads, our hip flexors, the whole front body, chest. And we'll gently release down. You might feel nice energy flowing through the open heart space right now. Just enjoy that. You can close down your eyes for a moment. Good. And we'll windshield wiper our legs side to side. And we'll bring the soles of the feet together, knees wide for Supta Baddha Konasana. So a passive stretch here through the adductors. If this is too intense, you can always place one block underneath each leg. And close down the eyes here for a moment. And it's always nice to kind of close the eyes after a back bend and kind of do nothing, because they really get things moving through that heart space, especially when so much of our life is closing that space. Physically and metaphorically or emotionally, we could say, right? So just enjoy the good energy flowing through your body. We'll bring our knees in and hug both knees into your chest. Feel free to circle the knees around if that would feel good. And you can switch directions. We'll continue to hug the right knee into the chest. And coming back to our supine twist that we did earlier in class here. Just letting all that good energy move with ease through your body. Inhale up, bend your left leg, bend your right leg, grab the outside sole of the right foot here for like a half happy baby. We'll hook the right ankle to the top of the left thigh and take a reclined pigeon prep. So you're pulling the left thigh in, widen the right knee away from you. And we'll just release and switch sides. So right leg is straight, left knee hugs in. Take your left knee over to the right, coming into a nice supine spinal twist. Let the breath flow, even though it's slightly constricted here with the twist. And we'll come back to our starting position. Bend your right leg, flex your left foot. We'll take that left knee down towards the ground. And then we're hooking it into our reclined pigeon. So as you pull the right knee in or thigh in, you can actively widen the left knee away from you. And we'll release, and we'll finish with a full happy baby pose, Ananda Balasana. You can grab Yogi Toe Lock again. That stimulates some of the meridians of the spleen. And we can rock side to side if that feels good, or just stay grounding here. And then when you're ready, just release, and we will work into our Savasana, our final resting pose here. So allow your feet to be as wide as the mat. Lift the chest up gently to get the shoulder blades in towards the spine so that that chest stays nice and open. Same with the legs. We want the energy to flow here through our Savasana, palms face upward. And you'll close down your eyes. And if you're wanting to pause the video or stop the video and move on with your day, I just want to really encourage you to give yourself a few moments here to feel the effects of your practice. So dropping into your Savasana. Let's take a collective inhale in through the nose. Hold it at the top, and you can exhale, sigh out, release through your mouth. And just feel the goodness here in your body, the sensation, the energy. You are made up of energy. And as we get more aware of our physical being, kind of embodying this divine being, we can feel our own energy, that aliveness, that vitality, that spark. Just let your body relax. It's okay if your mind is active, just watching any thoughts that come up, letting them go. Feel free to stay here as long as you would like. Otherwise, just gently wiggle your fingers and toes. Allow the breath to flow with ease. On your next inhale, reach your arms up. And as you exhale, you can pull your knees into your chest. And we'll just roll to our right side here, just for a moment in the fetal position. And then as you're ready, we'll push ourselves up to a seat. Okay, my friends, thank you for joining me for this practice. I hope your body is feeling good. You're feeling the good energy flowing through. Remember to give this a like, comment what you loved about the class, and any videos or tutorials you'd like to see. And I'll see you in the next video.